Whispers about a troubling rumor spread among the townsfolk, hinting at a series of dangerous incidents and a growing number of disappearances. Fear lingers in the air as even children urge each other to head home quickly, wary of encountering the unknown threat. The unease is palpable, shaping the cautious behavior of everyone around. Tensions flare during a phone call as one girl cancels plans, citing her slipping grades and need to study. The other lashes out, accusing her of valuing school over their friendship and declares they should just stop being friends. Frustrated, the first girl sighs and walks away with her bike, only to suddenly notice something on her phone that catches her attention. Just as she turns away, a sudden message appears on her phone. "Let's be friends." The unexpected words catch her off guard, her eyes widening in shock. Below, the ominous shadow of someone standing nearby hints at an unsettling presence. The harsh reality sinks in. She has no friends in her first year of high school. Suddenly, she's grabbed and held down by two intimidating figures, one threateningly clicking on a razor, promising to shave it nice and clean. Fear grips her as she struggles, her wide eyes filled with panic and desperation. The torment escalates as the girl is forcibly held down, one bully cruelly clicking a razor and threatening to shave her clean. The others mock the difficulty of shaving someone else, while a smirking boy suggests going for the other side next, intensifying her terror. Suddenly, a calm voice interrupts the scene, drawing the attention of everyone in the room. A composed girl with glasses commands the bullies to return to their seats, her calm authority cutting through the tension. The bullied girl's shock deepens as the crowd's attention shifts. Her name, Tomoko Mochizuki, echoing around her. Meanwhile, a defiant voice taunts her, cruelly suggesting she should just stop coming to school altogether, deepening her isolation. The classroom falls silent as the bullies are ordered to stand and bow, their power momentarily checked. Tomoko's eyes reflect a mixture of pain and resignation, haunted by the cruel insults echoing in her mind. Outside, life continues indifferent. Children play and go home, while she walks alone, pushing her bicycle through the quiet streets. It was only after the bullying began that she realized how isolated she truly was. Though she knew she didn't have many friends, the painful truth was that she didn't have even one. The quiet hallway outside classroom echoes with her name, deepening the weight of her loneliness. Despite her loneliness, Tomoko quietly becomes the reliable source for her classmates. Willingly sharing her notes and homework, she's determined to keep her work neat and accurate, knowing others depend on her. Even as the test approaches, she remains patient and kind, offering 2 copies of her notes without hesitation. The conversation reveals a surprising detail. Mochizuki keeps 2 notebooks, one strictly for lending to others. Despite the awkwardness, she insists it's no trouble, even though she's already completed her homework for the day. Meanwhile, another student reflects on this unusual habit, quietly puzzled as they clean the empty classroom. The students quietly discuss Mochizuki's strange habit of keeping 2 notebooks, admitting it feels a little creepy. They acknowledge she's kind but tries too hard and struggles to make friends, despite the teasing about sleeping in class. There's a hint of understanding beneath their words. Invited to join a karaoke outing, Mochizuki is caught off guard but clearly interested. When asked to cover a cleaning duty in exchange, she agrees with a hopeful smile, showing a rare moment of connection with her classmates. Despite her bright smile and eager agreement, a quiet vulnerability lingers beneath the surface. She still yearns deeply to be accepted and not rejected. As the moment passes, a flicker of doubt crosses her eyes, revealing the hidden struggle behind her hopeful facade. Hidden among the dense leaves, a single, wide eye peers out with an unsettling intensity. Suddenly, the protagonist's calm shatters as she senses something terrifying nearby, her expression frozen in shock and fear. Drawn by a sudden noise, she cautiously parts the bushes and discovers a large, worn doll lying abandoned. Its lifelike eyes and tattered dress unsettle her. Yet she can't help but admire its eerie beauty, wondering if someone lost it. She decides it's best to take the doll to the police box. Noticing how worn out the doll is, she gently touches its face. Conflicted but determined, she begins carefully washing it, hoping to restore some of its former charm. Suddenly, her father appears, curious about what she's doing. The protagonist explains her plan to clean the doll and take it to the police box, hoping to return it to its owner. Her father dismisses the idea, insisting the police aren't interested in a lost doll and suggests it was probably thrown away. She listens quietly, her expression a mix of uncertainty and resolve. She posts a photo of the doll online, hoping someone will recognize it. Gently touching its face, she quietly wishes to find its owner. Despite still being a bit dirty, she decides to rest for the night and finish cleaning the doll tomorrow. The next day, She hurries through the school halls, breathless but determined. Catching her breath at her desk, she notices something unusual. A small feather caught on the edge of her bag. Her curiosity deepens as she contemplates this unexpected detail. Her heart skips a beat as she unzips her bag, only to find the doll staring back at her from inside. Shock and disbelief flood her mind. How could it have gotten there? She wonders if she somehow brought it along in her sleep, struggling to grasp the impossible reality before her. Fear grips her as she imagines the consequences if those four discover her secret. The carefree group chats and laughs, oblivious to her growing anxiety. Suddenly, a clumsy stumble from a classmate breaks the moment, forcing her to quickly apologize and divert attention. Aika quickly apologizes for blocking the hallway, showing her considerate nature as she offers to help hand out papers. Her kindness doesn't go unnoticed, as a classmate admires how she goes out of her way to greet others, explaining why she's the class representative. Meanwhile, Yuri Miyoshi checks his phone, with a classmate expressing support for him, praising his looks, talent, and promising future. Tatsuya Sakiguchi talks about his surprising dual life as a high-ranking delinquent who still attends school, making him oddly appealing. Meanwhile, Mashiro Shiratori playfully describes herself as an airhead idol, despite being top of the class, pondering how genius and idiocy can coexist. Nearby, a classmate quickly warns another to watch their words, hinting at the sensitive dynamics within the group. A girl sits alone at her desk, nervously sweating as she recalls a warning about not wanting to be hated like someone they both know. Her eyes reveal a mix of anxiety and determination. Suddenly, the clock shows the time, and a voice calls out, "Hey, you're late." The girl faces harsh insults from a domineering classmate, who mocks her for being slow and useless, while she nervously apologizes. After the tense exchange, she quietly slips away down a deserted path, relieved to have survived the confrontation. Finding a secluded spot, she contemplates hiding something in her bag, but suddenly freezes, sensing someone watching her. The girl is caught off guard as Takamine suddenly appears, holding a large doll and questioning what it is. The group gathers around, shocked by the size of the doll and Takamine's blunt remarks about carrying it, implying mental issues. One classmate wonders if this is a deliberate attempt to show she's troubled, while another is surprised Takamine even came prepared to confront her. The tension escalates as Shiratori bluntly asks if the girl wants to make up with them that badly. Catching everyone off guard, the girl, Mashiro, reacts with a confused, "Huh?" before Shiratori's sharp comment slips out, prompting a warning not to provoke Takamine. Suddenly, Shiratori grabs Mashiro roughly, intensifying the confrontation. Takamine's anger boils over as she aggressively calls Mashiro a traitor and demands she just get lost already. Mashiro, shaken and defensive, insists that the harsh accusations aren't true. The confrontation escalates violently when Takamine grabs Mashiro by the collar, shouting in fury about the mysterious doll and calling it stupid crap as she shoves her aside. As the tension lingers, the boy asks Takamine what they should do with the troublesome doll. Swinging it around absent-mindedly, Takamine, clearly irritated, complains about the doll's tangled hair, while Mashiro, still shaken, silently contemplates giving up on the doll despite her lingering feelings. The boy suddenly hurls the doll high into the air with a fierce shout of, "Take this!" Our hero reacts in shock, eyes wide and mouth open, caught completely off guard by the unexpected attack. The two girls watch tensely, unsure of what will happen next. The doll soars through the air, its dress and hair billowing wildly as it plummets toward the water below. Onlookers watch in stunned silence, their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief. The moment the doll crashes into the pool, water splashes violently, marking the impact of the unexpected assault. The doll floats face down in the water, eerily still and soaked. The group watches with mixed reactions: disgust, concern, and irritation, while one voices their disdain with a blunt, "Gross." The tension breaks as a stern warning is issued, telling the boy not to pull any more strange stunts like this, while another girl clutches her arm, clearly shaken by the chaos. The water ripples quietly where the doll sank, its presence fading beneath the surface. The girl stands silently by the fence, her expression distant and contemplative as she gazes out. Slowly, she turns away and walks down a deserted path, the evening settling around her as she heads home. Drenched and weary, she clutches the soaked doll, feeling the weight of the situation press down on her. A bitter thought crosses her mind. She stinks, the doll's wide, haunted eyes meet hers, but she can only sigh, questioning her own actions and purpose in this strange ordeal. Still damp and smelling faintly of the ordeal, the doll's tangled hair is carefully dried with a blow dryer, As the girl meets the doll's unblinking gaze, a strange, unsettling connection seems to form between them. The quiet tension lingers, both uneasy and profound, as they sit together in the dim room. The girl admits she's not very good at making friends and apologizes for dragging the doll into her complicated world. She reflects on Takamine-san, who is kind, strong, and popular in class. Someone she deeply admired, Takamine-san confidently discusses the upcoming cultural festival, revealing it will feature a play. The class buzzes with excitement as the lead role for the cultural festival play is up for grabs. One confident girl eagerly volunteers, sparking laughter and playful banter among her classmates. When asked directly, Tomoko hesitates, caught off guard and unsure how to respond. The confident girl teases Tomoko, quickly brushing off the idea of her taking the lead role and suggesting she's more suited to behind-the-scenes work. Slowly, Tomoko begins to feel like she's starting to fit in with the class, especially through Takamine-san's encouragement to help organize the festival. Meanwhile, a boy nearby, casually drinking, realizes it's getting late and they should start heading home. As the boy hurriedly hides his can of alcohol, his friends warn him not to just toss it in the school trash. Meanwhile, Tomoko is asked to secretly dispose of the can outside the school while another student promises to stall the teacher. Later, as the cultural festival approaches, a student prepares to make an important announcement to the class. The teacher solemnly announces that alcohol use was discovered, leading to Tatsuya Sakiguchi's suspension. The class listens in shock and confusion, with one student quietly questioning why this happened. The atmosphere grows tense as the consequences of the incident settle in. The teacher announces that the entire class will be withdrawing from the cultural festival, shocking everyone. The students react with disbelief and frustration, questioning the fairness of punishing the whole class for one person's mistake. Tensions rise as they grapple with the sudden loss of their hard work and plans. The teacher firmly states that the decision to withdraw from the festival is final. The class reacts with disbelief and frustration, lamenting the loss of their hard work and preparations. Amid the tension, one student recalls that Mochizuki was the one who discarded the can, hinting at unresolved questions about the incident. The tension in the classroom deepens, with the atmosphere growing increasingly heavy and strained. Our protagonist reflects on their futile attempts to clear up the misunderstanding about throwing away the can, realizing that their apologies only pushed others further away. Even Takamine-san, once a friend, has distanced herself, leaving the protagonist isolated and burdened by the fallout. Overwhelmed by guilt and isolation, the protagonist breaks down in tears, haunted by the thought that things might have been different if they had acted better. They cling to the doll as their only source of comfort, confessing it's the only friend they have left. In this moment of despair, they desperately wonder what it would take to be forgiven. Haunted by loneliness, the protagonist wonders if life would be easier if everyone were dolls like their only companion. Trying to lighten the mood, they laugh it off, but the weight of their isolation lingers in their tearful gaze. Just as the protagonist feels utterly alone, the doll's expression shifts, its eyes locking onto them with an unsettling intensity. In a chilling promise, it declares it will make everyone their friend, offering a strange glimmer of hope, or something far more ominous. The girl suddenly declares she will make everyone the doll's friend, causing a shocked reaction. The doll lunges at her with terrifying speed, prompting a scream of terror. The girl is left stunned, realizing something strange is happening with the doll. Still shaken, she questions if what she saw was just a hallucination brought on by exhaustion. Trying to calm herself, she decides it's best to get some rest after the overwhelming events of the day. But as she looks at the doll again, it suddenly appears lifelike and still, leaving her unsettled. She carefully places the doll back into the closet, her eyes locked on its unervingly lifelike gaze. With a quiet click, the door shuts, sealing away the unsettling presence. Exhausted, she finally lies down to rest, though a lingering unease hangs in the stillness of the room. The morning light filters softly through the curtains as she stretches awake. A quiet moment of calm after the unsettling night. Her eyes shift thoughtfully toward the closet, still lingering on the memory of the doll's eerie presence. Later, at school, the atmosphere changes abruptly as she rushes down the hallway, catching someone's startled attention with a sudden "whoa." As she looks out the window, her eyes widen in surprise at the sight below. Two boys are playfully spraying water, catching a girl off guard. The unexpected scene breaks the quiet school day, drawing her attention instantly. The protagonist reflects bitterly on the cruel graffiti scrawled across her desk. Realizing this kind of harassment happens in every class, she wonders if it's something inevitable, something that simply can't be stopped. Meanwhile, the teacher looks on uncertainly, sensing the tension but unsure how to respond. The class learns that Tatsuya Sakiguchi has gone missing, with his parents unable to reach him and no police report filed yet. Students exchange uneasy glances and speculate that he's probably skipping school as usual, though this time it seems more serious. One student shows a text conversation hinting at trouble, deepening the concern. The classmates speculate about Ryukin's disappearance, suggesting he might be in a fight since he's known as a delinquent and boasts about his strength. One girl recalls him bragging about having a tattoo on his back, which surprises others who doubt he would go that far, despite the doubts. Another student confirms the story's truth, showing a photo as proof. The classmates react with shock and disbelief as a photo reveals Sakiguchi's bold new tattoo, confirming he's definitely been in a fight. One student explains their close childhood friendship, shedding light on how a delinquent and a wealthy heir could be connected. Meanwhile, a quiet girl hopes that without Sakiguchi around, the others might be less cruel today. Overwhelmed and pinned down, the protagonist admits they could never match Sakiguchi's strength and struggles with the unfamiliar feeling of helplessness. Meanwhile, the night air is filled with heavy breaths as a motorcycle lies abandoned on a deserted road, and footsteps hastily move through the grass nearby. Bloodied and desperate, the protagonist staggers through the dark forest, clutching his injured arm. Panic and confusion flood his mind as he gasps for breath, shouting in disbelief at the chaos unfolding around him. Despite the pain, he struggles to keep moving, determined not to give up. A sudden, sharp realization strikes the protagonist, reflected in his wide, panicked eyes. Meanwhile, a girl notices a window left open, pausing with a puzzled expression as the evening sky looms overhead. She hesitates, glancing up toward the fluttering curtain before deciding to check the window. The girl's eyes widen in shock as she recognizes the blonde hair peeking through the curtain. Panic sets in when she realizes she forgot to lock the door, and she rushes inside, trembling with fear and confusion over how he got into her house. She stands frozen at the doorway, heart pounding as she processes that he actually came all the way to her house. Doubt and worry swirl in her mind. Could he really be causing trouble again? Despite her fear, a flicker of concern breaks through as she hesitates, wondering what she should do next. She searches the room carefully but finds no sign of him. Confused, she wonders if he might have slipped into another room, her mind racing as she recalls he was just there moments ago. Her eyes narrow with growing determination, refusing to let him disappear so easily. Her eyes fixate on the doll standing eerily before her, confusion and fear flooding her mind. She recalls putting it away safely in the closet. Yet here it is, unexpected and unsettling. The unsettling presence of the doll deepens the mystery of what's happening inside her home. The doll's unsettling form reveals a grotesque patchwork of stitched flesh and worn fabric, its lifeless eyes half closed as if hiding a dark secret. Its twisted smile and distorted limbs give it an eerie presence, blurring the line between toy and something far more sinister. The air around it feels heavy, as if the doll itself is watching, waiting for something to unfold. Her shock deepens as she covers her mouth, struggling to process the horrifying sight before her. The doll, resembling Sakiguchi-kun, looks disturbingly lifelike. Its grotesque form stained and stitched, exuding a scent that hints at real blood. The chilling realization hits her. This plush might actually be made from human flesh. The eerie doll, stitched together with grotesque patches, sits lifelessly as the girl's shock deepens. Her hand covering her mouth in horror, the unsettling presence of the pale, wide-eyed figure beside the doll adds to the chilling atmosphere. A haunting voice declares, "You've got another friend now," sealing the grim fate that awaits. Terrified, she screams as the horrifying doll is suddenly lifted, its grotesque form dripping with fresh blood, frozen on the floor. She watches in shock as the figure holding the doll steps closer, the weight of the moment crushing her hope. Her wide eyes reflect the nightmare unfolding before her, powerless to stop what's coming next. The boy, his face partly hidden, holds out the grotesque doll, saying, "Here you go." While the girl stares in stunned silence, her gaze shifts to the bird tattoo on his back, a symbol he once proudly showed off to friends. Memories of his boasting echo faintly, contrasting sharply with the dark reality before her. Overcome with terror, she screams and stumbles backward, desperately trying to escape the nightmare unfolding before her. She bolts out of the room, the weight of fear driving her into the outside world. Her frantic sprint is captured as she races away, the sound of her footsteps pounding against the pavement. In a desperate attempt to flee, she calls out in disbelief, her breath ragged and panicked. Suddenly, she loses control, crashing to the ground as her bicycle skids away. Struggling to catch her breath, she clutches her mouth, overwhelmed by the shock and fear consuming her. Desperately trying to convince herself, she clings to the hope that this is all just a nightmare, huddled on the ground beside her fallen bicycle. She trembles as the eerie silence is broken by the sudden buzz of a nearby insect, heightening her fear. When a shadowy hand reaches toward her from the darkness, she screams in terror, caught between reality and the nightmare she's trying to escape. Just as fear threatens to consume her, a familiar voice calls out. Her father appears, concern etched on his face. He gently questions what she's doing out so late and if she needs medical help after her fall. Though relieved by his presence, she can't shake the unsettling feeling as darkness envelopes them both. Still shaken, she nervously admits she forgot to lock the door and fears someone strange might be inside. Her father reacts with alarm but quickly tries to downplay the situation, insisting there's nothing valuable and urging her to not worry. Despite her unease, she apologizes quietly, while he brushes off her concerns, expressing his exhaustion and desire to just get home. He offers to check the rooms with her, sensing her lingering fear, and she nervously agrees. Together, they step inside the quiet house, the tension still hanging in the air as they prepare to investigate. As they cautiously ascend the creaking stairs, the girl's eyes widen in shock. They quietly approach an open door, revealing a dimly lit room where a mysterious doll sits eerily still on a shelf. Her heart races as an unsettling presence fills the air. Relieved but still weary, she thanks her father as he tries to reassure her once more. He decides to head to bed early, reminding her to take care of her injuries before sleeping. As she turns off the light and settles in, a lingering unease shadows her tired expression. Exhausted, she collapses onto her bed, convincing herself that the unsettling experience was just a tired daydream. Relieved she kept her strange thoughts to herself, she tries to settle down, until something catches her eye, jolting her wide awake in shock. A dark, ominous stain splatters the floor, instantly drawing her attention. She gasps, her breath quickening as dread floods her senses. Her wide, terrified eyes reveal the depth of her shock, her body trembling with panic. Her shock deepens as the eerie doll suddenly speaks, insisting, "This isn't a dream." Struggling to process the surreal moment, she steels herself with quiet determination. Resolute, she decides to discard the unsettling doll, clutching it tightly before tossing it away. Torn between fear and responsibility, she contemplates the doll's fate, searching social media for its owner but finding nothing. Just as she hesitates, a delivery worker unexpectedly offers to take the bag off her hands. Overwhelmed, she nervously pleads with him to accept it, relieved to finally let go. The delivery worker disposes of the bag, tossing it into the garbage truck without hesitation. Watching from a distance, she feels a pang of doubt, wondering if there was a reason the doll was discarded in the first place. She questions herself quietly, seeking reassurance that letting go was the right choice. Suddenly, her hand reaches out, fingers trembling as if trying to grasp something just out of reach. Her wide eyes reflect a mix of shock and urgency, while the other person watches her intently, sweat forming in silent concern. The moment hangs heavy as she struggles to speak, her voice barely a whisper. As the delivery worker throws the bag into the garbage truck, he suddenly pauses, sensing something unusual. His eyes narrow in suspicion as he carefully inspects the contents, muttering, "HM? What the?" The tension rises as he digs deeper, uncovering something unexpected inside the bag. The delivery worker notices something unusual stuck inside the garbage truck and pauses to investigate. Despite his colleague's impatience, he carefully inspects the obstruction, determined to push it through quickly. His gloved hand reaches in, revealing the source of the delay. His hand suddenly grips tightly onto a leg tangled among the trash, pulling it into view with a forceful tug. The delivery worker's eyes widen in shock as he stares at the unexpected discovery, muttering, "Huh!" The delivery worker's shock turns to alarm as a blood-curdling scream echoes nearby. His eyes dart around, trying to locate the source, while an eerie crunching sound intensifies the tension. Suddenly, he slams a button in a desperate attempt to react, his face etched with growing dread. The delivery worker's worst fear is confirmed as a bloodied body lies trapped inside the garbage truck, pinned beneath the crushing mechanism. Panic overtakes him as he urgently calls out for help, his face pale and drenched in sweat, desperate for an ambulance or police to arrive. Amidst the bloodied wreckage, a faint movement stirs. A hand twitches slightly, hinting that the trapped figure is still alive. Suddenly, long, disheveled hair slides forward, revealing a haunting, blood-soaked face emerging from the darkness. The bloodied girl, her wide, unblinking eyes filled with a chilling emptiness, stands slowly revealed amidst the darkness. Her tattered dress and stained hair add to the eerie sight. As the name Tomoko echoes through the tense air, the horrifying truth sinks in. She is far from the innocent figure they once knew.